Facebook Community Circles event. And at that event, they wanted me to speak about monetizing Facebook groups. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So if you're on Periscope or if you're on Facebook, you're able to see the presentation. And one of the reasons that I'm talking to you about this is because tomorrow night I'm going to be doing a special webinar on 11 ways to monetize your Facebook groups. And you may not think that it's important. Good morning from GM to you, that you monetize these groups, but I'm going to show you not only from a monetary perspective, but from a trend perspective, why it's so important for you to monetize these groups now and not wait. So with that being said, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Danielle Patterson Whittingham, former JP Morgan Chase Vice President, Master Life and Master Business Coach. And just to give you a glimpse of why and how I know what I'm doing. Hey, Will, good morning, Vicki Kirk. I hope we can catch up this weekend, sis. Just to give you a glimpse as to who I am and what I do. I have over 150 groups on Facebook. And I'd say out of the 150, at least 149 of them, right, have made me money at some point in some shape, form, or fashion. And if you're just getting in, go ahead and share the broadcast, invite others. This is some amazing information that you don't want people to miss. So out of those 150 groups that I have, the mass majority of them have generated revenue for me in some shape, form, or fashion. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this workshop, is because one thing that I found is that if you, and I don't want to get into my presentation too soon, but if you don't start out with the intent of monetizing your group, what happens is the monetization, hey, Timeless, welcome back, sis. The monetization falls to the wayside. You end up serving a whole lot of people, and you end up not necessarily making money for that service. And I'm a firm believer that if you're going to serve, then you should be compensated, good morning, Quavisa, for that service. Another reason you want to make sure that you're monetizing your Facebook groups is because Facebook has fell back in love with groups. And what I mean by that, what you'll see is that if you've been on social media any amount of time, good morning, Daphne, Facebook tends to fall in and out of favor with different functionality. And the reason that happens is that they want you to adopt this new functionality. And the more functionality you adopt, of course, the more you're going to prefer Facebook as your social media app of preference. So they want you to prefer using Facebook. So Facebook now allows you to create a paywall to monetize access to groups. So that means with no other software, you're able to go in, create a group, and start taking money for people to have access to that group, which is, by the way, amazing. And I'm going to show you later in the presentation how a client of mine missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars by not monetizing her group off the jump, like I told her to do. So her coach told her to monetize it. She wasn't comfortable with it, didn't do it, group grow. She didn't make money. That's what it basically boils down to. So again, if you're just joining, share the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. I want to start by saying there's so much revenue to be generated on social media in so many ways. And the majority of us think that it's just by selling our stuff. But what we're missing out on is the fact that intellectual property is a $1 trillion industry. And if you don't get in on it now, the more people that get into it, the more it devalues the intellectual property, the less money you're going to make, of course, right? So the big question is, why not? If you're going to start a group, If you're going to bring people together, if you're going to serve people, why not get paid, right? So tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing 11 ways to monetize your Facebook groups, $29, or join Women's Online Networking for $19 a week. And you get access to all my workshops with no additional cost. Go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money to grab your seat for only $29. I suggest you go now. It's going to be an amazing presentation. So I don't know if you guys have seen the commercials or not, but those Facebook commercials are by far and large my favorite. One of them is a Memphis commercial. You know, I'm a Tennessee girl, and he's playing a song, So I'm Walking in Memphis, and he's got all these different people from Memphis talking about how they miss Memphis and how they use this Memphis in May Facebook group to stay connected to all of the other individuals that are in that group that are from Memphis and miss Memphis. So if you're from another town and you miss that town, then this is definitely something that you would relate to. And you don't find out, and this is a marketing message, guys. This is a marketing lesson. You don't find out until the very end that this is actually a Facebook commercial. You think it's the cutest commercial. They got all these people saying, so I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a bill. And you don't know until the very, very end, and I know D. Morris loves when I sing, that this is a Facebook commercial. Which, can I stop real quick and help y'all with the marketing message in that? A lot of times we don't realize that marketing is sometimes just as quiet as it is loud. Sometimes it's the subliminal of the marketing, the emotion of the marketing, the feeling of the marketing that makes us want to buy into something more than it is somebody just saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Have you ever seen the McDonald's commercial where it's the son and the father? Hey, Chef Shay Posh Brows, I got it right today. Where it's the father and the son's like, I'm gonna finally buy breakfast for my father. And at the end, you realize it's a McDonald's commercial, but you typically wouldn't realize that until the end because you got swept away in the emotion. So with that being said, Facebook has fell back in love with groups. And there are so many people with so many groups on Facebook, and they don't have a rhyme or reason. Let me ask, how many of you have a group or 2 or 10 on Facebook? Go ahead and say me. If you have a group on Facebook, we're going to talk about why you need to monetize it. If you don't have a group on Facebook, we're going to talk about why you need to monetize it before you get started. Hey, Bethany, it was so good to see you last weekend. So we're going to talk about why you need to monetize it before you get started. So how many of you have a group on Facebook? So Bethany said me, I have a group on Facebook. Who else has a group on Facebook? I know Bethany's not the only person. I told you, I have over 150 groups on Facebook, and the mass majority of those groups have paid me or are paying me. Thank you, Bethany, for sharing the video in some shape, form, or fashion. Right? And guys, if you haven't shared the video, follow Bethany and share the video, or start a watch party. So if you don't have a group on Facebook, you need to get a group on Facebook, but not without coming to my presentation tomorrow, 11 ways to monetize your Facebook groups. Go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money and save your seat for only $29. Now, why do you, and Katera, you said, I believe I have 2. That means you're not leveraging those groups, right? I know exactly how many groups I have. I know exactly how many people are in each group. I know exactly what the group was created for. I know exactly how I'm going to monetize them. Somebody say, wow. So one of the reasons that my dollars are so long is because I'm very deliberate about everything that I do, right? Somebody say on purpose. When I do things, I don't just do them, I do them on purpose and with purpose. So it's very few things that are done accidentally in my business. I do them on purpose. And if you want to generate more revenue in your business, especially using social media, you not only have to have the strategy, but you've got to move and operate on purpose. Somebody say on purpose. So let's talk about if you do have a group or if you don't have a group. Number one, why you need to create one, and number two, why you need to monetize. First and foremost, you've got to understand the human psyche. You got to understand human beings. Human beings love to belong. We are social creatures. As a matter of fact, the very few people that don't like people enough to stay away from them, we call them hermits. We even got a name for them, girl. We got a name for her. And as a matter of fact, we're such social creatures that jails use things like solitary confinement as punishment. And I know we've all seen the movies where the person is in solitary confinement and losing their mind because we're social creatures. We love to belong. There's a book that talks about, and I'm going to give it to you when you register for tomorrow's course. We're going to talk about the book in tomorrow's workshop. Go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money in order to register. It's just $29. It's an amazing workshop. I'm sure if you're familiar with my work, you know that any $29 workshop is worth $299. If you execute what I tell you in the workshop, you're going to make your money back and then some in just crazy ways. So $29, that's just my holiday gift to you for you to get introduced to my work. But there's this book that talks about leadership. And if for those of you who don't know, it is the leaders that make the money. And if you look at any industry, whether it be corporate, whether it be entrepreneurial, it is the people who lead. It is the people who step up and say, I want change. It is the people that step up and say, let's make this better. There are 1,000 people that pass by a problem in a day. It's the leaders that say, let me bring change. Let me be the change that I want to see in the world. And so people love to belong, meaning if you create a group for pretty much anyone, as long as you market that book correctly, somebody is going to, they're going to join that group. They are. And I think because we have so many people ambushing us and adding us to groups without our permission, we have forgotten the value of a group. So I actually got a message from a community circle leader at Facebook here in Houston. I happened to be in town, and they were like, are you able to come out and do a presentation? They actually compensated me on monetizing Facebook groups. And part of that is what I'm going to share with you tomorrow night. But even Facebook realizes the monetary value of a group. So if you don't have a Facebook group, and much less one that you're monetizing, you definitely need to be there. Now, here's the mistake people make. And we don't just make this with groups. Here's the mistakes that people make when it comes to monetizations. People say, I'm going to try it first and then charge. Somebody say, wow. Hey, Julie, I haven't seen you in forever. Somebody say, wow. People say, I'm going to start this group. I'm going to run the numbers up to 2,000, 3,000 people. Before you know it, you've got a group of 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people. And then you say, now I'm going to start charging people. What do you think happens? I've seen this happen with my clients hundreds and hundreds of times where they come in, they say, I'm going to start this group. The group becomes wildly popular. The group has a ton of people in it. And then they go back and say, what? I'm going to monetize this group. What do you think happens? What happens is, because you've not taught people the value of your time, the value of your intellect, the value of what you do, people will refuse to pay. And so it's one of those things that if you don't off the rip define that group, who it's for and what the value is, you can't expect people to pay you later. You really can't. And that's what exactly, people are not going to pay. And I run into people like this at least once a week. They say, Coach, I got this group, 2,000-3,000 people in it. I'm not making any money. I'm like, why did you start a group? But that's what happens when you don't have expert advice. You go and you just do without getting paid to do. So people don't know your value unless you teach them. And when you start a free group or do anything for free, you're telling people that this product, service, information, knowledge group has no value. Can I show you guys some numbers real quick? Let me tell you what, let me show you some numbers real quick. And where I've actually seen this happen before. So I had a client and she wanted to start a group. And I said, sis, even if you only charge $19 a month, no, actually I told her $19 a week to be in that group. You're doing workshops in that group every week. You're going live in that group. You're providing them with tips and checklists. So why wouldn't you charge? And $20 a week. Do you guys agree that $20 a week is a relatively inexpensive? I know we have women's online networking. And when you join women's online networking, it's $19 a week. But they get about 3 webinars from me a week. So if they was to buy all of them separately, they'd have to spend like $90. So I think $19 a week is a relatively fair price to pay considering the level of education. So I told her, I said, sis, just charge $19 a week. She didn't, she wouldn't. She ended up with over 1,700 people in that group in a year. Are y'all following me so far? So she asked me, should I charge? I said, yes, she should charge. She was afraid, which is another point. You will go broke not opening your mouth. You will go broke not opening your mouth and asking for the sale. So she said, oh, I'm not going to charge. I'm just going to let them stay in the group. So within a year, she had over 1,700 people that should have been paying $19 a week in her group. Can anybody tell me how much money that is? Anybody able to tell me? Over 1,700 people, $19 a week. Yeah, y'all got to get y'all calculators out with me. So, 1,700 people, $19 a week. $19 a week, Rose. 52 weeks in a year, babe. So you got to, y'all finna do some math this morning. 19 times 52 times 1,700. 19 times 52 times 1,700 is $1.679 million. A year. People, 1,700 people times $19 is $32,000 a month. 32,000 times 12 months in a year. $19 times 52 is $988 a person. $988 times 1,700. Yeah. $1,679,600. Wait a minute. Let's go back. Had she just charged them $19 a month, 1,700 people times $19 a month times 12 months in a year is $387,000. Y'all see that? So when you start, good morning, Mindful and Melanated. Good morning, Lake Consulting. Good morning, Barber Journals. Before you even open the doors, and Simon Marcel said, I'm looking to work on monetizing my new group. I'm about to open up to the people that have been waiting for me to improve them to get in the door. So before you open the doors, before you name that group, before you invite a soul, you need to have a plan to monetize that group. You can almost make money instantly by monetizing a group. Go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be showing you 11 incredibly creative ways to monetize your Facebook groups, regardless as to what you do. And we're actually going to have a brainstorming session. Like, I don't care if you're an event planner, there's a way for you to monetize your groups. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom, there's a way for you to monetize your groups. I don't care if you lead a special interest group, there's a way for you to monetize your groups. Here's the problem. You think because you don't know how to make money, nobody else knows how to make money. And that's not true. I'm an expert at making money. If you ask my clients, I could come up with 10 ways for them to make money this weekend. It is a learned behavior. It is a skill. And if you've never learned to make money out of thin air, you won't know. So if you go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money, let's at least start with monetizing groups. And if you don't want to spend $29 to learn how to make thousands of dollars on a group, let's say $9. I had a client, she said, okay, I'm going to start this group. I said, do not start that group without monetizing. I said, if nothing else, charge them $9 a month. 1,700 people times $9 a month. How much is that, y'all? And I'm going to challenge anybody on here that has a job. Do you make this amount a year? Eunice, I was in, what was I at the other night? Baby, where did we pass through? Remember the other night we was on the way back from Atlanta? I said we'd been there before. Remember we stayed at that hotel? We had a hard time finding something good to eat. Remember they kept talking about that Connecticut sausage?
Oh, that weird sausage they told me they like.
Yeah.
They try to hype this shit up.
Yeah, where was that? It's Alabama, ain't it?
You should have went Oklahoma.
No.
You sure?
I'm positive. We're in Oklahoma. Eunice, where do you live? I forget.
Alabama, something like that. I think it was Alabama or Mississippi. It's Alabama, Mississippi. Yeah, one of the two.
What city though?
They hype of sausage.
Mobile. We came through Mobile the other night. And if it wouldn't have been so late, I said, I'm gonna call old Eunice and see what she do. I was gonna call you and Ramonico. Mm-hmm. Sure did. I said, what old Eunice doing? So girl, you popped up. But anyway, I told my client, I said, listen, good morning, Jack Renee. If you just charge them $9 a month to be in your group, she said no. 1,700 people at $9 a month. How much is that, guys? See, and that's another thing you got to do, guys. You got to stay connected to your money like you stay connected to your man. You got to always be putting this stuff on paper because you think you need to do all of this high-end stuff to make money and you don't. People got you thinking you need all this technology. People now, the more you have, the more you make, of course. The more technology, the more automation. But to make enough to free you from your job, that's right, Kateri, $183,000 a year. So let's do the math on 100 people. If you just get 100 people in a group paying $19 a month, that's $22,000. Let's see how many people we need to free you from your job. 300 people in a group paying $19 a week is $296,000. Hold on, 100 people. Does everybody think they can get 100 people in a group? If you do, say me. 100 people in a group paying you $19 a week is $98,000 a year. That's enough to free you from your job. See, part of the problem and why you can't get free from your job is sometimes you try to put the cart before the horse. You try to do things above and beyond, and you haven't even mastered the basics. So tomorrow night's webinar is about mastering the basics, getting a Facebook group, charging people to be in it, and 10 other ways to monetize groups. And there's so many ways to monetize groups that it's unreal. But if you don't ask, Denise, I'm gonna pass out, baby. I be begging y'all to hire a coach. I be begging, not begging y'all because that's what I do, because trust and believe, I don't need to beg for clients. I beg y'all to get help. Denise said she has a baking recipe group that grew to almost 9,000 people. And she doesn't know how to monetize it. So it looks like Denise is going to be in tomorrow night's workshop. Go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money. Guys, it is so critical that you understand the value of what you bring to the table. Katera said, I'm so glad I have a coach right now. Guys, can I just do the numbers on 9,000? Because you can't just get out. You know, Denise, let me tell you something. Denise said, I know it was just for fun at first. Who says you can't monetize your hobby? Who says you can't have fun doing what you love to do? Now, Denise, them 9,000 people, if you try to go back and charge them now, girl, they're going to make you walk the plank. They're going to run you out of your own group because you've taught them that this group has no value. So if you charge them 9,000 people, just $19,000 a month, that's $2 million. If you charge them 9,000 people, $9 a week, that's $4,212,000. Like literally, some of you are sitting on potential millionaire status. But you won't monetize the group. So guys, the link for tomorrow is bit.ly/, and guys, post it in your groups. Post it in your groups. Invite them. bit.ly/Black Friday Money. Let them know, hey guys, I'm coming to this class tomorrow night. You should come to this class too. Because there should be nobody. If you got 100 people in your group, it should be monetized. 25, 50. I think, I'm gonna tell you, I think the most I've made in one group, I think the most I've made in one group was $128,000 in one group. And actually, I think I have groups that have made more than that. That's a low ball. People will not pay you if you don't ask them, guys. You sitting up there going to a job you can't stand every day. You sitting up there begging people to buy your stuff, this, that, and the other. And you're sitting on a gold mine and just won't spend the money that you need to be able to learn to monetize that gold mine. So here's another thing, guys. When you want to monetize your groups, you got to be deliberate about who you invite, because all groups are not created equal. Also, you got to start with the money in mind. I'm going to ask, because one thing that I'm teaching all of you guys in the new year is that if you want to be a millionaire, you got to move fast. So how many of you have already registered for tomorrow night's webinar? Go ahead and say me. If you have already registered for tomorrow night's webinar, because you know you got a group that you're not monetizing, or you know you should have a group that you're monetizing, and Facebook's making it possible. They're putting up a paywall, so you don't even need no other functionality. Not to mention that Facebook is coming out with their own form of currency. So undoubtedly, if you're not already building your territory on Facebook, now is the time to start. But you got to start with the money in mind. And if you don't start with the money in mind, then why, oh, why would you end up getting paid? So thank you, Rose. I know all my mentees are going to be there. I know all the people in my membership program are going to be there. And guys, you need to be there too. bit.ly/Black Friday Money. D Morris, I know you're going to be there. Denise, with 9,000 people in your group, you need to come early and stay late, baby. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And these are some of the same things that I taught at the Facebook Community Circles Houston meetup. So even Facebook knows the importance. See what I'm saying? Katera said, I just did the math on the current numbers of my group, and I'm feeling sad because it's over $70,000 a year. And it's real. And that's my number 5, guys. If you're hesitant to sign up for tomorrow's class, I want you just to think about the money you're missing. Think about the revenue you're losing. Think about the opportunity you're missing. You could be off of your job. You literally could be gone from your job, but yet and still you refuse to open your mouth. One thing I will tell you is that God knows it's going to rain before you need an umbrella. And sometimes we go through financial hardships and we're like, OMG, life is just so hard, da, 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 da. But if we'd have went ahead and did the right things before we got into a turbulent situation, then maybe we'd have been better off. Maybe we'd have been much, much better off. So my point being, don't wait until you need the money to earn the money. Don't wait until it's situation critical to say, oh, I do have a value. Oh, I do have worth. If people will follow you for free, that means you're on to something. Stop beta testing stuff. Stop putting it out there because you're new. Charge from the beginning as if you were an expert. Is that fair, guys? You don't have Louis Vuitton beta testing their new purse. You don't have Macy's beta testing their new clothes. They put that stuff out there. And you need to too. bit.ly/Black Friday Money. Make sure you register for tomorrow's workshop, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't miss it. It's going to be nothing short of amazing. And again, for those of you who have groups, let me see if I can pin it. Girl, you gonna challenge my skills. Oh, please. There we go. I did it. So, Kateri, we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. Kateri's question was, so should we restart a current non-monetized groups? Not unless you have a plan to monetize it. And Julie, if you don't have a group, this is the best time to get one. Come to the class. Learn your options for monetizing a group. You're doing great by not having a group, because most people who have a group are going to probably have to start over in some shape, form, or fashion. So even if you don't already have a group on Facebook, this webinar is for you because it gives you the instructions and the options before you get started. Once you've started, it is very, very difficult to go back and get people to pay you. Yep. So let me just go back, guys. It's about monetizing your Facebook groups. Facebook has allowed paywalls to be set up to monetize groups. Groups are the favorites of commercials of Facebook right now. So we know people love to belong. We know people don't know your value unless you treat them. We've already seen the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that people are losing. Even at $19 a week, my client with over 1,700 people in her Facebook group was losing $1,679,600. Had she just charged them $9 a month, she was losing $183,600. And so if just getting some options on learning how to monetize so you don't lose that level of revenue, it's definitely worth $29 and more. Go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money. And guys, I'm honestly thinking about changing my masterclass prices to $99 in the new year. And let me tell you why. I leave the prices low so that people can participate. But I think, hold on, y'all, that's breakfast. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. So what I was saying was, um, even the bare minimum of monetization on your groups goes a long way. I have over 149 groups. Every single one of my groups has made me money in some shape, form, or fashion. But if you're not deliberate about creating your groups, if you're not deliberate about monetizing your groups, if you don't start with the money in mind, you end up like my new friend, what's her name, Denise? Yeah, my new friend Denise, that has over 9,000 people in her group and not making a dollar from them. But what I was saying was, I'm thinking about increasing the prices of my master classes because I think people see 29 and they don't realize the value and how much they're getting. So I'm going to ask you guys for feedback. What do you guys think? And I'm going to ask my team too, because I want people to know when you see a $29 workshop from me, it is a blessing. Because trust and believe, there's nothing else on my website that you can get at that price point at all. Maybe a book, maybe a download, but definitely not any masterclass, any coaching. So what do you guys think? I'm waiting. Y'all better say, Coach, don't raise them prices. Because if not, I'm going to be like, let me raise these prices. But I try to, but especially because I show up so much and so many people are starting at the beginning, I try to always offer products and services that people will be able to take advantage of, even if they're not at the point to be able to hire me full time. So I'm going to ask my team what they think. But in the meantime, before this new year, I'm having a live stream blueprint webinar on Tuesday. You guys better take advantage of every single one of these webinars. Yep, Science said, Coach, I would pay $99 because I've been in your class before, so I know what value you bring. Yep, Julie said, don't. Faith said, don't. I don't know, Faith. I don't know. I better get some good Christmas presents from y'all. Hey, boy. Hey, boy. All right, Patricia. Patricia said, please keep it at the current price. So let me tell you some things you can do to help me keep it at the current price. You can invite people. You can share these broadcasts. You can let folks know, look, my coach is having an amazing webinar tomorrow on monetizing groups, right? So make sure you go to bit.ly/Black Friday Money and let other people, hey, good morning, D. Alexander. Oh, yeah, Lee, I'm not doing a payment plan for 99. We barely have a payment plan for 25,000. So, you know, I'm not doing a payment plan for 99. You know, at some point, people have to decide how important is it for them to get this $1 million revenue. And I think I might increase the price and call it $1 Million Masterclass, because as you guys can even see from the numbers that I did this morning, you know, we don't talk less than hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And I just showed you guys a model that at minimum can help you get off your job, and at maximum can really help you generate some real income if you get the focus, right? So that being said, yep. Oh, them levels too hard to keep up with, Cynthia. when you get to saying this person gets this and this person gets that, then people want to upgrade, people want to downgrade. I'm not doing all of that at this level. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Patricia said, I'm going to share. Thank you, Patricia. That's how you keep the prices down. True story. So not only go out there and post, but share bit.ly/Black Friday Money. I'm going to get out of here, but I'm going to be back later today, guys. If you don't already know, my 12 Days of Christmas bundle is on sale now for $99. We talked about it the other night, www.wealthspeakeruniversity.com. But I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night so we can monetize these Facebook groups, okay? Yeah, absolutely, Faith. Too many moving parts. Too many moving parts. And what you don't want to do is cripple yourself with moving parts for low cost programs, right? You don't. If you want to have a bunch of moving parts, like I definitely have 15,000, 25,000, those are a lot of moving parts. But you've got to save your moving parts for the monetization that really matters. And the monetization that really matters is when you get to the higher price range. So yep, bit.ly/Black Friday Money. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Show you 11 ways to monetize your Facebook groups so that you don't keep working for free, guys. It's critical that you save your sales now.